Hello and welcome back to Game Start. I'm your host Bardic Knowledge, and I did that little bit of research I mentioned. And yes, when you defeat the Retinite's core before the other two parts are done, it goes berserk and becomes much harder to kill. So you want to keep the core alive until you kill at least one other part. The thing I saw recommended kill the bottom, then the core, then the top. But what I did was just let the core run away. So... Alright, so now we're here, and oh yeah, Fiona's young man has come back from war. I don't think I stopped in here before. My husband Marco is finally home. I'm so relieved. Don't worry, I'm home for good. Thank you for routing the beasts. Unfortunately, it'll take centuries to revive the forest. I wish I could live long enough to see my wish come true. You can come for me when the job is done. May I stay behind and help Fiona? I feel like those should have been switched around. And yes, this is what we need to do. And from here on, you get to see Robo tilling the fields every time you pass by this way. So on to the next part. Move forward 400 years. And the forest is alive! So, who did they put in my party? Marl. Okay, I'm actually gonna swap out Chrono for Luca. This actually has a very important cutscene in it, this side quest. This is Fiona's shrine. Here we give thanks to Fiona and Robo for replanting the forest 400 years ago. The remains of the lofty Robo are enshrined in the inner sanctum. Here's a hat made from a magical bow filled with the mystical forest powers. I think when I was a kid I had no idea that that was supposed to be pronounced bow or bow. It's just because that's oddly written, but okay. I'm gonna want 3 of those. I do not have enough money for 3 of those. Unless I sell some stuff, I guess. Like this Vedic blade, this Kali blade, this Shiva edge. Hang on to the Wonder Shot, even though it's terrible compared to everything else. And we want to hang on to the Demon Hit, since it's currently the 2nd strongest weapon of Glenn's. And as I think I mentioned before, in New Game Plus, you lose the Master Sword. Master Sword? I've been reading too much Zelda Fix. The Masamune. And, so you have to have a backup ultimate armor, or ultimate weapon for Glenn to equip. Memory cap does nothing. Okay, lots of people are good with... Oh, that's because they're all the ones with the elemental armor. Okay. Now I can get 3 of them. There are 5 of them. I know what I meant. Vigil hat. Why did I never buy Vigil hats before? Oops. Interesting. The Prism Helm says Locks status, and the Vigil hat says Protects status. I wonder why. Yeah, the Prism Helm is the strongest helmet we've got at this point, so we'll keep that equipped. Sell these Aeon Helms. And the Sight Cap. Don't need to keep that, what with the other stuff we've got. And now it's time to desecrate a sanctuary, so to speak. Because we're going to remove Robo from the shrine. No one's going to stop us, apparently. This is a sacred relic and we're just taking it off the pedestal. He's in worse shape after this 400 years than he was after 300 years after Lavos Rose. Oh, I guess I didn't need Luca. I thought she had to be the one to activate him. But I suppose in those 300 years after Lavos, he was indoors, whereas in this case, he was in operation for at least a couple centuries. Systems reactivated. Where am I? Ah, Magus. How nice to see you. For you it was a quick hop, but for me 400 long years have passed. The effort was worth it. The forest has grown back. Now let us celebrate our 400th year reunion. So now the special part. The camp out. Now the astute among you may recognize this background because I actually used it in my first episode behind the gameplay and camera and logo until I got advice that I shouldn't have the visuals quite so busy. So now I got this big black square underneath me, under my URLs. But anyway, after 400 years of experience, I have come to think that Lavos may not be responsible for the gates. What do you mean? I have come to think that someone or something wanted us to see all this. The different events over time that we have witnessed. It is almost as if some entity wanted to relive its past. Because it is very important to note that the 65 million gate existed before Lavos fell. So Lavos couldn't be responsible for the gates. I don't know. When people die, elders say, see whole life pass by. It is true that mortals do relive their most profound memories before death claim them. Yet those memories most often are sad ones. Thinking things like, if only I had done this, or I shouldn't have done that, triggers unpleasant old memories. Will that happen when our time comes? Probably. Who knows? Is there a point in time you'd want to return to, Luca? No, not really. I'm sorry. Is that something I shouldn't have asked? It's okay, just something I don't like to think about too much. Lavos playeth an integral role in the fortunes of this entity. So who is this entity? And Chrono's just asleep. It is unknown whose memories these are. It may be something beyond our comprehension. Our journey may come to an end when we finally discover the identity of the entity. That's an interesting linguistic thing. Identity of the entity. I never really noticed the similarity between the words. Shall we turn in for the night? Of course, you never actually find out the identity of the entity. But, I find it hilarious that they're sleeping animations, except for Magus, who apparently sleeps standing up like a vampire. Are also... and Robo, who sleeps sitting down. All of them are their fainted animations for when they're knocked out in battle. Yeah, you never actually find out precisely what the cause of the gates are. And this is our first off-color gate, the red gate, which, unlike the blue gates, changes locations as well as times. Did I make it back to that moment? If you examine this, it's 624, 990, or 990. I keep forgetting, because the AD thing isn't a thing in the Chrono Trigger world. Dad promised to go hiking with me, but blew me off again due to his work. I hate science. I loathe it. So, we never really went upstairs in Luca's house, but this is Luca's room. So here you can see. What is this thing? Heaven says to keep away from it, but it's so dusty. I'll just... Dear me, my skirt, I'm stuck. Luca, help. I can't pull it out. Luca, enter the password. Stop this machine. But I don't know it, Mommy. It is interesting to note that Lara's name is in all caps, but Luca's is not. But the password is the name of my lovely wife. Use it in an emergency. Lara's name will always be Lara, because the password... Okay. L-A... dang it. No, I screwed up. I screwed up. Dang it. Ah. Oh, did I save after leaving? Ah. Hold on. Consarn it. I screwed up. If I didn't, then... I didn't. Oh. I'm gonna have to go with that result then. Because the thing is, you're supposed to hit L-A-R-A, and I screwed up. I hit L-R and didn't have enough time to continue. Because I shouldn't have gone out on the balcony. I should have just gone straight down the stairs. I would have been there immediately and would have had enough time to screw it up and try one more time. But so, in the end, the future refused to change. Which is a reference that you'll probably never get if you've only watched my videos, because it is the end title thing if you get a game over. So now it's... If only I knew more about machines, then Mom would still be okay. If only I wish I hadn't heard what the doctor told Dad. Mommy's legs, they're... So this is the actual past, where things didn't change. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I am going to hit pause, go through everything back to the point before I screwed up, and do it right. So I will see you as soon as I've done that, but it will only be a short hop for you, because time travel. Nah, it's just hitting pause. So I'll see you in a moment. And I am returned. And I didn't notice when I'd paused it I only had 2 minutes left, so let's get this done in a hurry. Now to remember, it's L-A-R-A. So I'll skip through the dialogue a bit. Enter password. There. I did it right this time. Thank goodness, Mommy. Luca. And now you actually get to see what's changed between the two. So where before this one said, I hate science, but I better study it to make sure this never happens again, it says, I feel like I've learned something. I'll study machines now. There'll be no more accidents around here. And that's the old one. So you can see how things had changed a bit. But what I think is kind of interesting is in both of those scenarios is that present day Luca somehow hung around her house from 10 years ago without any of her family catching on, including herself. It's entirely possible that she slept outside, but then why was she suddenly in her room right there? And why does young Luca rip the pages out of her diary and toss them on the floor? The world may never know. But now we'll finish off this side quest. and then end the episode there. Luca, you've got a kind heart. You're always thinking of others. This is for you. It's a piece of amber I created using the sap from a tree in my forest. It took 400 years and a lot of pressure to make. I hope you'll find it useful. The Green Dream is a special accessory that I believe boosts power to something. I forget exactly. If you do have the bad ending, which I could pop back over and show that too, but I don't feel like it, Robo offers up his own legs to Lara, and and in exchange he'll just have tank tread instead of legs. But Luca tells him no, that's okay. Robo, you're so sweet. So there. I have fixed the timeline. I will save the game. Why do I have a Millennial Fair save file there? That wasn't there before, was it? I'm not sure. But anyway, save the game. This is now the correct timeline. And we'll go on to another side quest after this, but I have to figure out which one. So, till the next, live well.